Hello there! My name is Zachary, and I want to welcome you back, at long last, to the Ars Nouveau Test server. It's been a little while since I've been on, which some of my server mates have noticed. My last video was back in January, and it is no longer January. It is June 1st as I'm recording this. And yeah, I kind of want to explain why. In short, my computer died. Basically, right as I published my last video, my computer started crashing randomly, and I lost some footage. I did a cave run. As you see, I've got a bunch of gold here. And you didn't miss a whole lot other than me getting embarrassed by a necromancer and then having to reclaim my gear from a hole. But yeah, my computer... Nope. High wave claw. People are excited to see me again. So, yeah, my computer started crashing randomly, and I wasn't able to stay on for any significant portion of time. And then, within short order, my computer was just no longer usable. And, yeah, unfortunately, I had a lot of other stuff happening in my life as well that I won't go into, but trust that it was pretty chaotic, and things have been a little bit difficult for me. But things have calmed down now, and I actually got a full custom build PC, which a friend helped me out with. I got a 4060 graphics card. I got all sorts of fun stuff. I'll just open F3 real quick if any of y'all care what I'm using. But yeah, so I've got everything set up. I'm not sure how all my sound settings are all going to be. That's probably going to be in flux for a little while. But yeah, I'm back. And I kind of got to get reacquainted with the server, honestly. Zeke Zeke put cobwebs all over my place because, well, yeah, I was gone for a while. Yeah, about 5 months. So last we left off, I had just set up some basic starter gear and a basic little starter house here. And there's a lot of things that I need to get done. We're still really early game in a server that is fairly mature at this point. Let's just turn off the ritual for now, because I think what we're going to work on today is, first, I want to... Do I have shears? Because I don't want to waste these cobwebs, and I do want them. I don't seem to have shears. But I can add sensitive to break, which should make it be treated as shear. Oh, that's right. This is array, which will not touch cobwebs because they have no... There we go. Yeah, because they have no collision. So array will just go straight through. Where the heck? Ugh. I don't want to lose that block. There we go. So we need to start advancing. Right after we collect all of these. Pick up. Clean up our little area. Z gave us a little cleaning task to do as soon as we log on. Teach us the importance of keeping a clean house. Yeah. Let's see. I still need to get some of my own personal mods set back up. I forget what a lot of these hotkeys are. Because, again, full new PC build. Everything had to be set back up from scratch, more or less. But yeah, so today I had a couple tentative plans. One was that I wanted to start exploring a bit, because this wasn't where I intended to spend the entirety of the server. And I do have some plans. I've got not quite a mega base idea. I just have like an idea for some builds that I want to do. One of those things is I have a big house design that I want to make, inspired by some YouTube videos that were randomly shown to me. I want to make an octagonal house, sort of like a 3-tier cake kind of looking thing, and I've got some grand plans for how it's going to go. I want to extend a staircase all the way down to bedrock and do some fun things down there. And so I'm going to need to find a place where that can happen. Actually, let's see. I still have my map, and I forget exactly where all out, like what, because we do have a border. I forget where the border is because I haven't been that far. But I know, let's see, Zeke's over here, and actually we need to update that map because this is a good indicator of how long we've been here. I'm actually gonna see if I can like take a screen. Oh, let me see. Well, can I F2 this? Will that take a screenshot? I have no idea. But I'm gonna go and you know what? I'm gonna update my map. Now I think I can even see it on my mini map a little bit already updating. Oh, look at all those lights. Kind of want to get the full effect as things start popping in. I think this is... Wait, is this where he was? Probably not. Not quite. Okay, this is someone else. Let's see. Who are you? Ooh. Are the pitcher plants part of the cascading ritual? That's interesting. Well, Zeke should be right over here. We get to watch the map update in real time as I approach. He's been busy. Honestly, he's been really busy. And I've been wanting to come over here and see it in person because I've been watching his videos, and you should be too. Oh, he's using my spirals. Okay. Honestly, I'm just curious on the various stuff he's got going on around here. Oh, that's right. We have Hexerai now. We've got Hexerai. We've got Create. All of this stuff was added after I stopped because, I had to. But we got a lot more things to play with. We've got Hexerai, which has owls, which I'm sure have some sort of significance. I haven't really seen Hexerai since like 1.19, so we'll see how it goes. Occultism. He's got some villagers over here. Oh yeah, we can place the arcane cores sideways now. I think Cuther was responsible for that. And using, yeah. I like what he's done here, for sure. His magic school, which I hope to be teaching some redstone classes at some point. I wonder what kind of testing facilities he's going to have here, because we're going to need some big rooms. And honestly, I'm probably going to need to set up my own big spaces. Oh yeah, he was doing something based off of the warps that we made ages ago. I remember he was excited about that because I was talking about it. I was brainstorming some ideas, and that got him thinking. I'm so excited to be back. Rascal. Yeah. We've got so many things to do. And... oh yeah, he's got a flight ritual, so I can actually get a bird's eye view here. Yeah, I know. I was talking with him a lot about his source production here. It's a whole fire essence thing. I really like what he's done. I won't linger too much on it, because, go watch Zeke's videos. Still very cool. But this kind of illustrates how much work I need to get done. Because, yeah, I'm still living out of a structure that I found. And people are building stuff. So I need to get my button gear and get to making. And so, one of the things that I want to get done today, my tentative plans, is I want to set up Bookwyrms, Bookwyrm Storage. They are the storage managers for Ars Nouveau. I love them quite a lot, and they're going to be super, super helpful because, man, nothing bothers me more than having an unorganized inventory and storage. It's a struggle. And so we're going to get that set up. We need to get some source gem production set up as well. I know we set up some tentative stuff last time, but we really need to set up some more robust permanent things. We need to get some amethyst blocks, which I need to check what I even have, because again, there's a backpack mob nearby. Where? It's just in a cave somewhere. All right, we're just going to leave that alone. But, yeah, so we need to get refamiliarized with what we even have and where our stuff is. Come on. Let's go. Let's see. Yeah, here's our bounty from our mining session, and then our blocks of gold here, which the gold, you should know, is one of the most important things in Ars Nouveau. Now, we've got some amethyst shards. Did we get a Ritual of Awakening? Do we have any of that? Oh, wait, we do have shears. How did I not see these here? Were those there the whole time whenever I was looking at the pack? That's embarrassing. Anyways, we need to get organized. So there, we also got new textures, which is always fun. So Goo did, oh yeah, and all of the essences that we bookmarked last time. They all, well, most, Oh, hello guys. That's less than ideal. We got some unwanted guests. So we need to get organized in a couple of ways. So, like I said, we need to get our Bookwyrm storage set up. I don't know if we're going to set anything up here. Like I said, this is I'm going to go kill those guys. Now that gave me voluntary exile for killing a raid captain. And I know I'm right next to some villagers, but I don't see a bar. I hope that didn't immediately start a raid. I don't see a bar. Ow, 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 ow. That's... Alright, how are the villagers doing? Do we have any villagers? I see a villager up here. Is that... Where are you, buddy? I hear you. Where did you go? Are you down here? Where are you, buddy? What happened to my dudes? Oh, I got an ominous spot. Oh, right. We are in the version of Minecraft where you get the ominous bottles, not where you just get the instant thing. Okay, so I will kill raid captains with reckless abandon. Oh, and while I was out and about and exploring a tiny bit, and I might have picked up a wither rose from the wild. Because we got all sorts of different structures that pop up. And again, that was whenever I was losing some footage, unfortunately. But all right, so the other thing that we want to do, aside from the Bookwyrm storage, is I want to get our essence set up. Like I said, we need to get source gems. So we need to get an amethyst golem. We need to get, which we have some amethyst shards. I honestly forget where I got these from. Excuse me. Yeah, I forget exactly where we even got these shards from. But, yeah, we need to find a budding amethyst. So we can make a... Ooh, all right, I've still got my hotkeys remembered from my quick cast. So we need a dowsing rod. So there's, oh yeah, there's all the Geor ones. So dowsing rod, just have this. So this will let us find amethyst geode. And I wonder if there's any of them just below us. Yes. A couple, actually. Wow. So what we can do is we can just dig straight down to find that, which... Yeah, let's just go ahead. I know digging straight down is not usually advisable, but, you know, it isn't normally advisable. So let's get our breaking bolt. Oh yeah, there's a whole clipboard function now with the spell book, right? We can copy a spell to our and then paste it. So if we want to copy it here and then paste it here, that's really cool. We're going to clear this because we need to recreate that. And let's see. So that would be our projectile, mage light, amplify, mage light. I'm so mad. I thought I was on slot 2. Okay, well, we're going to go for sensitive ray break pickup. Where's pickup? Why do I always struggle finding pickup? There we go. Breaking bolt. Alright. So we'll play with that clipboard functionality later, perhaps. Eldritch Blast, so I got my attack on 4, I got leap on 5, as always, and then 6 is where my ender chest stuff is gonna go when I get tier 2. Oh yeah, we gotta get tier 2 spells as well. So we got a lot of stuff to do. Great. I'm just gonna go Mage Light and hope there's nothing super mean down here. There is something super mean down here, which is why it's a good thing we checked what our spells were. How did you get that? Alright. So, yeah, we're just gonna keep going down, because that scrying effect wore off a while ago. We're gonna give ourselves bounce in case we fall into a cave. Just gonna leave some mage lights as we go. Actually, this is expensive mana-wise. Let's just swap this to a touch. Here we go. But I also hear lots of undead around. So I want to get a better idea of what we're jumping into. It's a tiny one. That'll give us a thing to go up into, and then... So we need to take a ritual of awakening. Actually, I don't have any rituals of awakening. But we've got a amethyst geode, so we can figure out how to do that in a minute. And I would really like to find where those villagers are, because that sounded like multiples. Did he get stuck in a hole? I'm so curious. I can see them on... Oh, there they are. They're in the tree. They must have done this? How long have you two been here? Well, at least they're happy. Well, so they seem to be stuck there. And you know what? I'm going to let them be there for now. We're going to do something with them. So they did factor into our original plans anyway. So we need at least one shady wizard. Potentially both of them are going to be... Wait, did I trade with the farmer? I honestly don't remember. Just like, that's going to happen a lot. I honestly don't remember. It's been 4 months. 5 months. I did not. And the cycle button does not appear visually, but the hotkey still works. So yeah, both of those are able to be swapped back to whatever profession I want. As long as I get rid of it. And who left this ghost? Okay, it's a little bit later now, and actually there's a lot of people on the server right now. Well, 4 is a lot for here. So there's been a lot of new things added to Ars since we last played. And there's one of them in particular that I want to get as fast as I can, which is the Enchanter's Gauntlet. This is a new caster tool. It is not super remarkable at a baseline, because it is the touch caster tool, which we already have the Enchanter's Sword as a touch caster tool. But this one specifically, it casts on your right click rather than on attack, which is what the sword does. But then also, Zeke and I were able to, throw in the idea that this should also be a Paxel. Now, I do already have a Paxel. I included some Paxel mods because I like having them. But we definitely want that one because it's the Ars thing. So we need leather, and do I have leather? That's a good question. Ah, yes I do. Okay. So let's go ahead and make that immediately. Was it a diamond? I think so. There we go. Alrighty, we need an advancement for getting an Enchanter's Gauntlet. Do we have anything for the other ones? That's a good question. You know what? Let's make the Enchanter's Sword while we're at it, because I think we've got enough stuff for it. Let's see, the Enchanter's Sword, it's basically the same thing, except we need also his sword. Where are our sticks? And yeah, let's take that down real quick because I just need some more source gem blocks. Do I have any? Gosh. So yeah, this is why one of the things that we need to focus on is getting imbuement chambers set up and getting all that fully automated. We're doing things very haphazardly and manually right now, which is fine early game, but I don't want to be sticking around early game too much. But yeah, the Enchanter's Gauntlet is a Paxel. And it seems like it doesn't have durability. seems... Yeah. So, actually... Because this can get efficiency, fortune, silk touch, soulbound, and reactive. Yeah, so it has no durability, which is interesting. I wonder what we could do with that. Okay, well, we will get the Bookwyrms soon. We need to get Tablets of Awakening. And Tablets of Awakening, which we need for both the amethyst golems and all these other Geor golems, as well as the Bookwyrm charm. So we need source gems and all of the different colors of archwood. So we are a little bit low on blue and purple, and red too. Do we have any bone meal? Do we have any bones? We have bones. Great. And we have bone meal. Great. There we go. So archwood is pretty easy to have a bunch on hand with very little work. And then we're going to need more source gems. And we're probably going to set up a Mendostine farm today as a dedicated source farm. Because, yeah, I already explained why Mendostine are great last episode. And we have a tutorial up, which I will link in the description below if I do end up building it today. Because, yeah, Mendostine are, well, all of the Archfruit are honestly superpowers as far as source generation is concerned. But, dear God, my inventory is a mess. All right, let's just start getting rid of, well, and that's that one full. Getting rid of crap. Okay, let's go ahead and make that sword. So it's the exact same price as the gauntlet, which makes sense. Well, I mean, other than the gauntlet only needing leather and the sword needing a diamond sword, so 2 more diamonds. Alrighty, so now we've got our enchanter's sword. And let's see, I pulled out a couple of saplings here, and we've got a source gem block. Now, you can also speed up the crafting process of source gems and essence by putting a source jar nearby. Now, this one's going to get filled up by our source link over here still. But yeah, we just need some quick gems. Just one more. Alrighty. So now we should be able to make... Let's see what... we need... flourishing logs. Gonna make a couple of these because we are gonna need more than one. So we need one for the Bookwyrms, at least one. One for golem, and then just more golems, because we are going to go after the, like, at least some of the Geors. Honestly, I mostly included the mod because I like to have other options for decorative crystals, but they are also very nice for getting resources. I don't know how much I want to use them for getting resources, though. It depends. We'll see how it goes. I think Zeke might be trying to rely on it less for resources and more for aesthetic. But we'll see how things go. Probably set up a gold Geor. I think Zeke made a zombie pigman farm rather than going with the gold Geors and whatnot. So again, we'll see. But for the Bookwyrms, we also need books and quills and is it black dye or is it specifically ink sacs? If we ink sac specifically. Wow, yeah. Okay, so do we have any ink sacs? Probably not. I think someone was saying it's difficult to find squid. So we'll see if that's the thing or not. Because it might actually be difficult. None of these are... Yeah, no. Okay, so I've got my ritual brazier, which I just made, and I've got some tablets of awakening. Let's go ahead and just get our amethyst golem. Just gonna fall straight down here with bounce. Oop, and we're gonna hold shift so that we can land. And let's see if we can get a little buddy. There we go. Those zombies are still hanging out. And then just gonna get some amethyst blocks to take with us. We don't actually need a ton. It depends on... It honestly just depends on how fast we want things to go. That was a different sound. This place is weird. I don't like it. Okay, so legitimately we can just make an inventory, set our golem down, link him up, and set him off to go. So we just need an inventory, which the repo right here. So I'm just gonna set it right here. And where's our... Do we have a wand? We didn't have to make a wand yet, did we? I don't think so. I don't see one. Right, well, I guess we're making a wand. And there we go. So now we've got the Dominion wand, which I double check I don't already have one. And hey, he didn't run away. So there is a little technique, which I pointed it out over at Zeke's place. There is a little way that I like to set up my amethyst golems that makes it actually really easy to just set up a really quick thing. So they will reach, I think, 1 block down and then like 10 blocks up above their home. I'm not going to link it up yet because he doesn't seem to have even pathfinded at all yet, not being linked up, which is interesting. I feel like they used to, but I don't know. So what I like to do is I will set up like a spiral. Oh, and also they will only reach 5 blocks out from their home. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The book says 10. The book is a liar, unfortunately. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the outer edge, which means this is the furthest out we want to go. Is like right here. So I will make some mage blocks. And then you start spiraling them up this column. Yep. Also, if you have pantomime, which I think we might have, there's another way to do it. Yeah, we got pantomime from the library. So pantomime will let you target the nearest block to your line of sight. Essentially, it touches the block next to you wherever you're looking. And if you add sensitive, it'll add a highlight to that. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to use place block. And we're going to call this air place. So now we have this little selection. And how much are we going to fall off? That's 2. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, and as soon as we link this dude up, he should go and transform one of those. Or his Pathfinder will just break. I think, yeah, there we go. So, he will instantly convert one of the blocks in the radius. And then it'll take a while to do another one. And there's a trick Zeke likes to show off, which I like to call this charming, quote unquote, where you return them to the charm form, you put them back out, and then if you link them up again, the first thing they do is convert another block. It's a bit of an animation. Oh, there we go. There's another one. So we just, I think we do have Dispel. So while that's happening, is Dispel level 1? It is. So we're going to make this a bit less cruel. And we're just going to finish this up. And there we go. That's all of them. So now this guy will just watch these. Now, there's a certain school of thought between using amethyst golems. One school of thought that I've seen people do, I think from the Enigmatica peeps were doing this, where you have one budding block and then a bunch of these guys all focusing on accelerating the growth of that one block. And some people have gotten some pretty good results from that. But I don't like having a bunch of entities going around. Like, that tends to be laggier than what I like to do. So I will go and just make... Oh, wait, there's one more. Oh, well. We won't worry about that. But I would like to just make an area where you've got a very highly efficient layout of these. Now, this isn't, like, the fully optimum, but it's easy enough to do. And every single one of these blocks will have every single space open for growth, because what I'm maximizing is the natural growth ticks of the amethyst, not how much we're working this little guy. This little guy, his job is just to wait for them to be grown and then harvest them, as far as I'm concerned. So we've made this one little spiral, which is like 10 blocks, and honestly, that's probably going to be enough for our needs for a while. Once we set up our permanent base, we're probably going to set up like a couple of these spirals, and maybe we'll do a fully optimized one. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling later on. But because I did a creative test of how many of these spirals I could fit into the area, and it was interesting because if you shifted these over and then rotated them, they actually fit together better. So there's some interesting things to be done with these shapes. Even if they're not like 100% maximized efficiency, you don't really need that with these guys. Like, this is probably going to be enough. Doing 4 of these will probably be overkill, honestly, but we always need amethyst. Alrighty, so we've got ink sacs, feathers, and some books. We can make a couple of bookworms now. So we're just gonna craft them up, and then we toss them into the fire. Now, we get people asking in the server quite a bit how to do this. because you know, throw book and quill into the fire. A lot of people throw a book and then a feather, and it always fascinates me when I see someone do that. So, but yeah, we have to clarify book and quill, the item named that in the server quite often. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need for the Bookwyrms is the lecterns. So we need a storage lectern. Actually, probably a bunch of them, because we plan on using these a lot. And these use the enchanting apparatus. We need any kind of chest around a lectern, which means we need to make lecterns. And I can totally remember how to make those, right? Right? Yeah, slabs. Ooh, and bookshelves. So let's get ourselves some wood. And let's see if we can't just craft bookshelves. Here we go. 2. Right. Yeah. I'm going to need more books for sure. Make a couple of these. In the meantime, we can also make some chests because we need, let's see, 8 chests right now. Let's go back up. There we go. Chest. Lectern. And so the normal way that people use the storage lectern is to just link up to all of their inventories that they have in their base so that they have a remote access to all of their stuff whenever they need it. There's also the... She might have even seen it. The warp index and the stabilized warp index gives you remote access to your storage lectern. We're going to end up making some of those too. But the other use that we like to use is for very niche, very specific uses. And do we have an imbuement chamber on us? Or we can move this one out there. So what we have right here, if we put a bookworm on there, and then what was it? And now that's connected. And now you'll see that this already has a amethyst shard in it, because a storage lectern will attempt to import any item in an adjacent inventory next to it. So this is linked up to the imbuement chamber, and that will automatically pull the amethyst shards in there. Now we also... we don't have a starbuncle at all yet, do we? No. Do we have any... We do have some charms, or tokens. We can. In fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. We need... I think it was just 4? Yeah. Good, no one made it more expensive while I wasn't looking. Boom. Okay, so we got our cutest little hopper here. And can we make any more imbuement chambers? Yeah, let's just make a second one for now. Because... get ourselves another repository, which we need logs for. And I'm gonna make one of these. I'm gonna put this starbuncle on top of here. So what... And we're gonna need an item frame, which means we need one of these, because this turns into leather. And frame. Item frame. So the starbuncle, we can say you put stuff here, and you are now taking from the lectern. So now our Starbuncle is pulling the source gems out of this imbuement chamber without ever walking over to that imbuement chamber. And we can link up a bunch of imbuement chambers to this storage lectern, and the Starbuncle will monitor all of them. Now, what I'm doing here is, so the item frame will set a filter that the Starbuncle will obey. It will not put anything out in here that does not match this filter. And this is saying put source gems in me. And yeah, so if we just link that, now that one is also being linked up. And this is just a very simple setup for this. And we can scale this up very easily. And this is essentially what we're going to end up having in our permanent system, except a little bit more elegant than what we've got right here, because we're going to set these up for the essences as well. So yeah, this is sort of a proof of concept for something that we're going to be using a lot. And honestly, this little connection of a single slot inventory to a lectern for a closed network system that is not strictly for just storing our items, but by doing a lot of smart automation, I think this has a ton of potential. And yeah, we're going to be exploring that a lot. But for now, it's just our source of source gems. Now, the way that I normally tell people to start off with the imbuement chambers is by getting like a hopper and stuffing that hopper full of sticks or something until you can get enough source gems. But honestly, it's like, yeah, this wasn't that hard to set up. Just needed some books and a Starbuncle and some gold, and that was it. Okay, so it's been a couple days since that last clip was recorded. I've had these running just a little bit. I AFK'd just a bit. Hi, Zeke. And we need to get a couple more things set up before I can move on. The first thing is I want to set up the Bookwyrms here, which... do I still have a dispel? There we go. Named dirt for no reason. So... I've got 4. Good. So the Bookwyrms, once you have the lectern connected, you no longer need the Bookwyrms out. They are only checked when you are making connections. They are not needed whenever the connections have already been made. So we couldn't connect anything new to this without adding another Bookwyrm, but once the connection's there, we can just get rid of them. And Bookwyrms are at a bit of a premium right now with our lack of books. Which we might also be able to do something about the lack of books and whatnot with paper or with bark, I think. Because we can make paper from bark with Farmer's Delight. And let's see, where's the book? Here we go. And the books we can make with canvas or cardboard. How do they make cardboard? Pressing pulp. Okay, we can look into that later. That's interesting. A bunch of... Ooh, so we can pulp a bunch of different things. Well, we're getting a bit distracted. So anyways, we need to set up our storage. Let's go ahead and do that right now. It's going to be really basic because we don't have all that much. I want to clear this out of the way. But we don't really need much. We just need the convenience of having the Bookwyrms and being able to just see all of our items in one area, because this is going to drive me crazy. Now, we do need more repos as well, I believe. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more and just place them around, I guess. It doesn't really matter where they are. They will be able to link up. So we're going to just start linking things up. Which is a little bit difficult if you are doing it like I am and have to go up a ladder every time. That's annoying. So you have to always make sure that the second click is on the lectern, because you can click on something else and it will give you like a position set success message, but not the inventory added. Okay, so there's that, and might as well get this. We can link up the bookshelves too, but I'm not going to right now. This is all just to have convenience. So by default, it shows all of them by the amount. So it'll show, the highest amount at the top, and we can look at all of our items. So just going to get rid of some of these things that we don't super need. Oh, that's funny. They can actually trigger the pressure plate there. That's funny. So we're just gonna have them here for now because we've already got all the inventories linked up that we need right now, because we're not gonna stay here permanently, and that way we don't need to worry about dismantling these and the storage lectern, because the storage lectern isn't that expensive as long as you have a way to get books. We're just so early game that we've got a little bit of trouble with that right now, but we can get what we need to make books from flax, if we'll see in a second, because it drops straw, which I assume that has to be a supplementaries interaction there. It's an item from supplementaries. Or Farmer's Delight? Maybe Farmer's Delight and flax have a interaction. Anyways, so we can make our canvas from straw, and we can use the canvas to make books. So we've got canvas, we've got paper, we've got bark all around us if we need more paper. But yeah, so the storage lectern right now, it's mostly just going to make our lives easier by not making us have to keep track of where all of our things are. And if we need to craft something, it just makes it so much easier. And actually, is this looking at what we can craft with what we have in our inventory or with what's in here? Because that didn't used to work. That used to be... Oh, it does. That's actually a game changer. Wow. So we're using EMI as our recipe viewer, which has a little craft mode when you are in your thing. So see how it's showing me up here? This is craftables, showing me what I can craft with my inventory right now. And it used to be that when you would open up this inventory, it would still just show you what you can make with what is in your inventory. But this is actually showing me everything I can craft with what is currently in my storage lectern. It might not be the full list, but it looks pretty good, honestly. These things are... That's convenient. I'm a big advocate of show me what I can craft right now. So this might be helpful later on. But anyways, that's a bit of a distraction because we want to make the essences. Because there's a few things that we want to do. Mostly, I want to start exploring. My goal is to get through the normal Minecraft progression, get to the nether, get to the end, get myself a pair of elytra. Because elytra are my favorite thing in Minecraft. I love flying around. I think the physics feel amazing, and I always like to have it as a permanent effect, either by wearing the wings themselves or by getting the glide thread. Because there's a bit of a thing, like a lot of people... Oh, it's not the glide thread. What is it called then? The thread of flight? Thread of height, thread of flight. Thread of flight. So the thread of flight... No, that's the creative flight one from all the Arcanus gear. Thread of gliding. Not glide, gliding. Okay, so this is our goal, ultimately, is to get one of these. And so we need to do exploring, we need to go to the nether, we need to go to the end. I want to go through the whole process of using the Eye of Ender, or maybe we'll use the ritual of locate structure from Ars Editions, but I want to get through and find a stronghold and go through that whole thing on my own, just because it's a thing I like to do. And in pursuit of that, there are some things that some of the essences will make a little bit easier. I want the Belt of Levitation, actually, is my goal. And we need air essence. We need some feathers. Do we have? We have 1 feather. That's not enough. That's going to be enough to get the air essence. But we're going to need more. So we need to find chickens. And I should have, yeah, one of these wings. So we've got enough stuff to start making essence. Now, every essence also requires the pedestals or platforms to be within a 3x3 area. And we're going to go ahead and make a chamber. Or just grab one. Put it here. I forgot they could do that. Okay. That's fun. There's all sorts of new stuff being done to this mod all the time. Okay, that one legitimately caught me off guard. So, we can do essentially what we already did with these chambers and this. We can do basically the exact same thing with another lectern. To do the same thing for the imbuement chambers making the essence. We just have to make sure that the lectern is next to this one to pull from here. So for that means we're going to need more books. So I'm going to go ahead and make more books. Oh, someone set up some sort of a mailbox for me. I just opened this one and realized I probably should get this on camera, because I have no idea who did this, but I got some rabbits, some salmon, a courier letter. Please enjoy a sample from the Drigme Den. Open most days just off Nexus 19. I think this is Waveclaw's restaurant. Thanks, Wave. Got some owls in containment jars. I have not messed with Hexarai at all. But these little courier boxes are cute. Can be used to send items to players or depots using tamed owls. Right-click with the package in your hand to open the package menu. Use a sealed package on your tamed owl to open the send menu. Must be sealed before they can be delivered. And then this is my mailbox. I guess you must be able to send them to other people's mailboxes. That's cool. We will play with this later. Alrighty, so I have prepared a few more storage lecterns and repositories and all that fun stuff, because we are about to set this up for automation. So we're going to need another starbuncle, which we've already made. We are going to need another item frame. Actually, we're going to need more than that, because ultimately we want to handle all of the essences, not just one type. And you can only have one item in an item frame, but there are these things called an allow scroll, item scroll allow, which we need a blank parchment for, which we need mage bloom fiber for, which is why we've got all of this over here, because we can scrap a little bit. And we've got no paper. Okay, so we are going to make some paper. And need some mage bloom fibers. Get a couple blank parchment. No, of course that can't. We need chest and scroll. Boom. And when we're at it, we need item frame. We need our leather. It's a good thing we have so many of these wild and wings from that library. That has honestly been super helpful. So we are going to need to get our first essence before we can add it to a list. And so this whole thing is gonna be a fully passive setup, but I'm impatient right now for my first one, so I will power it. Later on, we might end up fully powering a whole setup, but I don't know. It always has seemed pretty unnecessary to actually go through and power these. I usually find just a steady but slow system works fine. So, if I remember correctly, we need to hold the item in our offhand and then click it with our main hand. Yeah, so this now has that on there. The other way, because that is a bit of a nightmare to do if you need to add a lot of items, the other way is you can put the scroll here and shift click and it will add or remove the item. And so yeah, that removed it and then it added it again. So now there's this scroll, which also, when you look at it, it just shows the items in the tooltip there, which is nice. So now we need to add a charm, and we're going to do the same thing we did for that first set, where we are going to go link this to here. And so now that is going to import our source gems into there, and then that is going to craft up our essence. And then we need you to here and you to here. So now all of our essence that gets made will automatically pop into this chest here. And now for the most important step, we need to make these proper starbunkles. So here's a fun little thing. If you name a starbuncle Zachris, it will look like this adorable little skulled bunkle. I can see ourselves having quite a bit of Zachrises hanging around, because this is my custom starbuncle design that Goo did as a thank you for being part of the team for a long time. He did such an amazing job. I love it so much. You might recognize it from my icon, either in the Discord or on my YouTube channel. So the little Zachrises will handle our essence. So we've already got enough air essence for what we need to do. We do still need more feathers, so we're going to go on a little bit of a journey to find some feathers. Now, it just occurred to me that another thing that we could do, rather than searching for all of the individual essence items, is that we could just make a deny list and add source gems to that list. Now, it does end up being an issue with if the starbuncle picks up any items, because now they're looking for anything other than a source gem, rather than going, yes, we only want this finished item. So the finished item specifically is safer, but a deny list can be a bit easier, especially if anything else is going to be rare. Now, we could also do starbuncle shades, which we could make using tinted glass, which we actually can make a bit of. So we can make some shades. So using these on a starbuncle will increase their coolness, but disable their ability to pick up items off the ground or pick up source berries. So basically they become too cool to pick up items. So it just fully disables that capability. We need some cobblestone and to make a deny list. So we're gonna go ahead and we go. We've added that to the deny list. We're going to make this Zachris cooler than the other one. Don't take it personally. But yeah, and then we're just gonna pop on the deny source gem. So now this is a bit friendlier if we want to use this as an ad hoc essence crafting station, because we don't have a lot of infrastructure set up. This is all very temporary. I would never normally have just machines scattered about, but yeah, this is early game. Yeah, so now if we ever want to swap this out, we don't have to worry about setting up a new filter, because the only thing that he's doing is I'm pulling anything other than source gems out of here. Hello, Rain. So I realized that there's one more thing that we can do with these beyond just the item frames with the scrolls in them, is that we actually can apply the scroll directly to the Starbuncle. So now you see filtering with item scroll deny. And I think he did pop out a couple things in that brief time that he was unlinked. But now we no longer need a item frame on there because he remembered the scroll that we handed him. And so we need to... Let's go ahead and do that with the other Starbuncle as well. So we need to remove this, and then we need a source gem to put on that list. There we go. And now we can say, hey, listen to this scroll. There we go. So now we don't need any item frames at all. This really only works if all of the inventories that you have them looking at are following the same filter, because, you know, when you have the item frames on the inventories themselves, then you can filter per inventory. When you have them on the Starbuncle, then that Starbuncle becomes pretty single service. The only exception I would say would be maybe the Mimic Scroll, because the Mimic Scroll says, you know, only put in what is already there. So you can apply a Mimic Scroll to a Starbuncle directly, and then they work as a very good, like, I will keep these inventories stocked no matter the cost. And yeah, it works pretty well for that. But the Mimic Scroll has the downside, I guess, but it's just expected behavior, is that, like, if you take all of one item out of the inventory, then obviously there will be no more in there for the Mimic Scroll to say, hey, put more of me in there. So if you take out the last item, then that item is no longer on the filter. But, you know, that's just what you got to deal with. So we are making our implements of travel because we don't have Elytra yet, which is our ultimate goal, to get Elytra and the threat of gliding. So we're going to make the Belt of Levitation and the Ring of Jumping. These two things together are sort of the ideal early game transit for Ars mages, because the Belt of Levitation, as long as you are sneaking, you will levitate above the ground. As long as you are already above the ground when you start sneaking, you know, you won't lift up until you're already off the ground, but you'll hover around like 8 to 10 blocks up above the ground, and also above liquids like water or lava. That's the important part, because we're going to the Nether. And then the Ring of Jumping basically just lets you do extra jumps in the air at the cost of some of your mana. It is not as powerful as a leap spell, but it's you know, easier to access because it's just hitting spacebar again. Just jump again. And so with the Belt of Levitation and the Ring of Jumping, that ends up being a very powerful combo for getting around, because you can fall slowly and hover and also jump to get bursts of speed and get higher up. yeah, this is what's going to make our job easier when we go into the Nether and the End, because if you've ever been there, you know you need to be going over some dangerous terrain. So yeah, and I think we've got enough for all of these, because we only need 3 feathers. We've got the gold. We need to make a mundane belt and a mundane trinket, which I believe we can do all of those things. We don't have the leather, that's right. We need to convert some of these. So we need to make one of these. We need to make one of these, which we don't have the nuggets automatically. We're going to need to set up some sophisticated storage for all of the metals and whatnot, like the compressibles. Is it the compacting upgrade or the compressing upgrade? I always forget. Compacting upgrade, compression upgrade, yeah. So compression upgrade is the one that we're going to need so that our iron and gold can all be blocks, ingots, and nuggets at the same time. But anyways, we've got... Oh, we need those Wilden Wings. And we need our gold, which I think we've got on us. Yes, we do. So with this, we can make all of our stuff. So it was, let me see if I can remember what it was. 3. Oh wait, no. Gosh, this is all wrong. Because it was 4 of these. Yes, there we go. So yeah, 4 ingots, 1 essence, 3 feathers for the belt. And then it was 1 essence and 3 wings, I think, for the ring. There we go. So with this, hopefully we will not die in lava or in the void. There we go. So also... Oop. Hi, Zeke. So also, the ring of jumping... Ooh. Roller skates. Oh, these will be helpful when I am out and about. These are fun. I've used them in other worlds before. They accelerate you more the longer you are running. Oh yeah, and once you get up to speed, once you get up to speed, you can just step right up hills and whatnot. He got stuck again. Alright, so we've got even more travel options, although this one's kind of dangerous, Zeke. Because you just slide around like you're on ice, and it's difficult to turn and pivot. So I might not use these in the Nether or the End, but it could be fun to make some, like, super fast highway roads, like, make the ice highways, but for the roller skates. He's wearing 2. Oh, it feels slower. Yeah, they also tear through your hunger, because that is all counted as blocks that you are traveling while running, which means that, yeah, that gets real expensive real fast in terms of hunger. Alrighty. So I think we're going to leave off there for today. We've got some automation set up with our source gems and our essence with our hard work and Zachris Starbies. And we've got some new gear, as well as our Bookwyrm storage set up for the moment. So I think we are ready to head out and stretch our legs and get all of that progression stuff done. So we're going to start off with the nether, and then hopefully we'll end with some wings, and if we're lucky, maybe we'll go exploring and find that mythical spot for our forever base. Yeah. I hope I will see you there. Goodbye. Zeke is showing off some particles of the new super secret particle update. Ooh, yeah, this is the trial spawner one. That does look great.